It's time to get inside the Giants huddle.
Huddle up, huddle up, huddle up.
On Giants.com.
Here we go.
And the Giants mobile
Get
app.
them in there, let's go.
Part of the Giants Podcast Network.
Welcome back to the most recent episode of the Giants Huddle Podcast. John Schmeelk with you. Today's guest is Giants Pro Bowl tight end Evan Engram. But first, I want to remind folks you can find the Giants Huddle Podcast and all our podcast offerings on the Giants Podcast Network, which is presented by Investors Bank. Now let's invite our guest. He's Giants Pro Bowl tight end Evan Engram. Evan, Merry Christmas. Hope you and the family are well, and congratulations on the honor of making the Pro Bowl.
I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. I appreciate it.
All right, so let's start with this. I was there when Howard, got you on the Zoom call and told you made the Pro Bowl, and you looked so genuinely happy and surprised. What was it like finding out?
It was definitely a big surprise. I never really thought of it, of making it. I just kind of was focused on the season and didn't even really know, wasn't really even keeping up with it, but kind of just came out of nowhere. I was very excited. I was very thankful, and it was a special moment, just getting that call and hearing that and having my mom with me, and it was just a special moment. And
I got to imagine there's got to be a lot of satisfaction too. I know how hard you've worked to get better in a lot of facets of your game, how hard you've tried to stay healthy, which is something you've done this year. You haven't had to miss a game due to injury. So was it a nice culmination of all the hard work you've put in during these first 4 years of your career?
Yeah. I always give glory to God. His path for me has been a lot of ups and downs. Everything happens for a reason. And like you said, just everything coming full circle. And it being literally a year from my foot surgery I had last year, and I got that news and I got that call. It was just a crazy, honestly, God-given moment that I just was really thankful for.
Where do you think you've made the most progress of a player in the last couple of years?
I think I've just grown mentally. The game has kind of slowed down for me. I just learned how to really study tape, learn how to, study guys, especially like in man coverage and know defensive zones and know where those places are and just really getting football smart. I think that was kind of the biggest thing I needed to grasp coming into the game, coming into the league. And, with a lot of help with some great coaches and great teammates, I've been able to kind of grow mentally. I think that's probably the biggest jump I've made.
Yeah, and I know you've worked your butt off at trying to become a better blocker too. And, this year, I think the team has relied on your tight end group really heavily. I mean, you've used a lot of 12 personnel, a lot of 13 personnel the last few weeks. So what does it mean, for your group and you specifically to be such factors in really reviving this rush game and making it such a big part of your offensive attack?
Yeah, it's been huge. We've been our tight end room. Levine and Caden and Ryzen is here with us, and had a lot of guys in the room with us. We've been just working our butts off, honestly, from camp to now. We've been asked to do a lot, and for us to be a big part of the run game, to bounce some of the big runs we've been having and reviving our run game. It's been important. It's been special. It's been something that we take pride in, and something that we're still trying to get better at. So it's definitely been exciting to get involved with that. And tight ends, we get excited catching passes, but we definitely love seeing those backs run right by us off of one of our blocks, and that's an exciting moment, and it helps the team.
Hey, Giant fans, get a New York Giants checking account from Investors Bank with a Giants branded debit card. Security features and discounts at the Giants online shop. You can earn up to $250 when you open an account at investorsbank.com/Giants. Member FDIC. Now, as we move forward now, what are some of the things you're working on? How do you iron out, maybe some of these individual plays in games where you look back and you say, oh, man, I really could have made that play, but I just didn't happen to make it in that instant. So how do you iron out maybe some of those inconsistencies as you continue to progress in your career?
Yeah, honestly, it's all about just being consistent. There's every bad play, every bad play or every mistake, there's something small that's not being done. That's not being done to make the play. So the biggest thing is, facing those plays and facing those mistakes and seeing what I'm doing wrong and building better habits to prevent from me doing that wrong thing or wrong technique or whatever. So I think that's been the biggest part of me being consistent and trying to make as many plays as possible. And even when the mistakes happen, learn from them and grow from it.
How has this coaching staff helped you do that? Because just my feel for it, and you tell me if I'm wrong, it feels like they really get into the minutia and every little fundamental and every little thing you guys do, which to me, logically, would help eliminate some of those inconsistencies, right?
Yeah, and that's just that. That's just kind of the work the standard that we set around here. Obviously, if there's something you need to improve on, something you need to work on, you gotta find time to work on it, find time to do it. Literally, before practice, catching balls or working, getting on the bags, working steps in our blocking game during a special teams period or something. It kind of just the standard they've set around here is, do what you do well, and work on what you don't, and that's kind of been the motto since day one, and that's kind of the biggest thing that Coach Judge is trying to develop us as players is find our weaknesses and get better at them.
A lot of people made a big deal about Freddie Kitchens calling plays last week, Evan, but we all know Jason was involved in the game planning and stuff during the week. But it was a little different for you guys because then you had, I guess, Bobby Blick and some other coaches step up on game day. So what was it like for the tight ends having Freddie have to step into that bigger role on game day?
It wasn't too much of a change. Freddie just maybe spent a little bit extra time with the quarterbacks, during the week, and we still have our tight end time and our film time with him. So it wasn't that much different. We always meet as a unit mostly anyway. So it definitely had a little bit more on his plate, but Freddie handled it well and made sure we were still on the same page and made sure we had to do what we had to do and also accept the role of calling plays.
The New York Giants and Quest Diagnostics want our fans to come back stronger than ever. Now you can order your own lab test through Quest Direct to get the health answers you need most. We're joined by Giants tight end Evan Engram. If Daniel returns this week, Evan, what does that mean for your offense?
That means a lot. Daniel's our leader, and Daniel's plays with a lot of heart, and he brings his team a lot of juice. So having him back, he's you can tell he's excited and he's feeling good and he's ready to be back out there. So it does a lot for our team and does a lot for our offense. Bringing his athletic ability and his arm strength, and he's been kind of getting in the groove before all the injuries and stuff. So trying to get him back going, and I think it'll be huge for us.
What do you guys have to do to just get some more points on the board week in, week out? I know you guys have had some issues trying to get to 20 in some of these recent games, Evan. So I know it seems like a real simple question, but how do you go out and score some more points?
We just got to execute and make the plays, make the one-on-one plays, make the 50-50 balls, make that one block to spring that run. We just got to execute on every level, at every position. And when we do our job, and obviously we be who we are and make the plays that we've made before and make every day at practice, I think the points will come.
And one way to do that is to make some more big plays. And I know you guys probably haven't had quite as many chunk plays in the passing game as you would have liked this year. So how do you try to, develop and really put more of those big chunk plays on the field, which can eliminate some of that margin for error on some of these long drives you have to produce to score points?
Yeah, like I said, it's gotta make the 50-50 balls. This league is teams play man or teams play zone, and these windows are tight. These windows are small, and it's gonna be a contested catch. It's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a tough catch to make or a tough tackle to break or something like that. So, like I said, you just gotta make those plays, and when we make those plays, it gives that player, it gives each individual a boost of confidence and a boost of energy, and it gives the team that as well. So it all comes full circle. We just got to make those plays.
All right, 2 questions on the Ravens this week, Evan, before we say goodbye. They play a ton of man-to-man defense. I think they play cover 0, the second most of any team in the league, over 10%. Yet somehow you figure if teams do that, right, and they blitz a lot, you can make some big plays down the field. But they don't allow big plays either. So how do they, at the same time, blitz a lot, put pressure on the quarterback, play a lot of man, play cover 0, but not give up those big plays that usually go along with that?
Yeah, they're just a well-coached team, well-coached secondary, and they have a lot of talent up front that's getting pressure and creating those tough throws and creating those tough pockets. So that's what they do. They blitz and they send pressure and they force you to make those plays, and they have talent at every level. So like I said, that's going to be the game. We have to go up and make plays, and we have to communicate and pick up pressures and have our protection right. We all have to be clicking on all cylinders because they're a great team, a great defense, and we have a big challenge ahead of us.
All right, Evan, final question. The real trick, too, for tight ends, of course, is you don't have to worry just about the passing game, but could be involved in a lot of pass protection in this game. If they blitz, you got to mass protect, those sorts of things. as I mentioned, highest blitz rate in the league. They bring pressure from everywhere. DBs, safeties, linebackers. They drop defensive linemen into coverage. They do everything under the sun. So what do you guys need to do to make sure those creative blitzes don't wreck what you're trying to do offensively?
Yeah, biggest thing is communication, pre-snap. Getting our IDs, knowing where the line's working, knowing who the back has, and when the tight end's a part of the protection, knowing who we have, and that literally is all communication. So we're gonna have to be able to like I said earlier, make plays and make the big plays, but also have to communicate pre-snap and make sure we have all of our IDs and details, and watch a lot of tape that shows what they do and what they're bringing, and just be ready for it.
Evan, good stuff. Congratulations. Merry Christmas, and good luck on Sunday.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
That's Giants tight end Evan Engram. We thank him for joining us on this week's edition of the Giants Huddle Podcast. I want to remind everybody that you can listen to the Giants Huddle Podcast, as well as Giants Rewind and Big Blue Kickoff Live, our live show from 12 to 1, on our Giants Podcast Network, which is presented by Investors Bank. You can find the archive of all those shows at giants.com/podcast, on the Giants mobile app, and all your favorite podcast platforms. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave a 5-star positive review if you like what you hear. For Evan, I'm Schmeelk. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and stay safe.